Hello everyone and welcome to this introductory session on learning practical web GIS development. This is your host Krishna. First of all, I would like to thank you for attending this event. This event is mainly for GIS professional and developers, or basically anyone who is passionate about these two things. On a side note, this is the first time I am hosting a live event, so if I make any rookie mistake or a grammatical mistake, please forgive me. Now, as I was saying, who should attend this event? So if you are a GIS professional person such as GIS analyst, digitizer, GIS engineer, cartographer or GIS specialist, this is event for you. If you want to take your career to the next level by learning web development, this is the course for you. Otherwise, if you are a computer science or IT professional person such as computer science engineer or a developer, now you want to get into a specialized field such as GIS, this event is for you. But most of all, if you are a passionate, dedicated and imaginative person, then and then only you should attend this event. Computer science needs a lot of passion and a lot of hard work. So if your goal is to just learn development to earn more money, I would highly suggest that you should not do this, because just after getting couple of errors you will get frustrated and you will give up. But if you are really dedicated to programming and you really think you can spend enough time learning, finding answers on the question and coding, then you should definitely get into this. Now let's have a look at some of the use cases of GIS where people have leveraged the knowledge of GIS with the web technology. Uber and Zomato are in our talks every day, but have you ever wondered why sometimes they show more prices to do the same thing compared to every day? This is because their main business is not taxi or not a food delivery, but it is the location enabled data of their customers. They have highly sophisticated algorithms which try to figure out how many cars or how many delivery persons are available in a specific area compared to how many orders that they have. And depending upon this demand and supply, they decide the rate. Clever, right? Can you imagine a single day of your working life without Google Maps? Have you ever wondered, once you are in a hotel or a restaurant or a cafe, automatically Google Maps pop you a notification asking you to review that society or that place, right? All this is because GIS. Apart from these, people are now extending the GIS limitations and starting to work on 3D data. That means apart from having location data just in 2D, that means lat and long, now people are also including the height and depth to make most out of it. When I got the statistics of all the people who were eager to attend the event, I found out that 60% of those were new to development, while 26% were aware of the basics of development and 14% were intermediate developers. Hence, I divided the main two groups. I divided everyone in two main groups, an intermediate coder and a new to development guy. Now let's try to see what exactly we will be learning in this course. Before going into that, let's just see what are the different types of WebGIS developments. So you have enterprise and you have open source. Enterprise development options are mostly Google Maps, Esri Maps, Here Maps, Azure Maps, etc. If you want to use these technologies to develop applications, you need to pay to these companies. On the other hand, we have open source technologies such as Openlayers, Leaflet, where development for commercial as well as non-commercial purpose is completely free. You can use these technologies as you want. We will be dealing with open source technologies development in this course. Now let's try to see what exactly we are going to learn in this course. We will start with understanding what is basics of HTML. Then we will move to CSS, and then we will get into the most exciting area, that is JavaScript. We will then try to use Bootstrap, and all these 4 components will be only available to people who register themselves as new development people. So even if you know, or even if you think you know the basics of all these fours, I would highly recommend you to enroll into this. Once they are familiarized with the basics of development, they will work along with the intermediate developers and learn the GIS web technologies, which will include Openlayers, Geoserver, PostGIS, AJAX PHP. These 4 technologies will give you the basic idea about web GIS industry. Of course, there are more to this than web GIS industry, but this will enable you to start thinking like a web GIS developer. Once you are comfortable with these 4 technologies, we will move ahead and learn about Leaflet.js and then Mapbox.gl.js. By the time you are done with these technologies, you will have complete idea about WebGIS frameworks such as Openlayers, Leaflet, Mapbox, how they are connected with other technologies such as PostGIS or Geoserver or etc. Then we will spend one complete lecture with an industry professional and try to get insight on how industries work in GIS development. And finally, we will have a ninja competition. More about this in upcoming slides. So this was the roadmap of our course. In upcoming slides, I would like to explain you in depth regarding what exactly we will learn in these technologies. So we will start with basics of programming. We will learn what is basic HTML, what are tags in HTML, what are different attributes that we have in HTML. Note that HTML is the base of all web development. Hence, this is the foundation and you need to make sure that you get it correctly. Hence, even if you are familiar with basic technologies, I would highly suggest you to start from here. We will cover the tags that are used most of the times, such as div tag or creating list or creating tables or inputs or things like that. Then we will move forward and learn about CSS and how to use it to beautify our code. We will see how to do basic things such as coloring or bordering or different types of CSS properties. Then we will see how we can apply CSS properties on specific selectors, that means specific HTML tags. And later we will see how websites uses a specific font that makes them different than another website. So we will learn how to use a third party or external font in our application. Finally, we will get into JavaScript. We will spend a great amount of time learning JavaScript. Please note that JavaScript is the base of front-end development and nowadays back-end development as well. So you can never become a full stack developer if you just skip JavaScript. We will learn about basics of JavaScript, what are different data types available, how to write functions, how to write loops, what is DOM manipulation, what is jQuery. I know you must be thinking that, man, this is getting out of hand. I have never coded in my life. I just know the GIS and all these JavaScript, CSS, HTML, all these things looks very complicated to me. But believe me guys, I was similar to you. I did my civil engineering degree in 2016 and from that moment I was learning coding by myself. So what I found out that learning to code is similar to learning a language. Once you know how to use specific words or once you know how to arrange words to make a meaningful sentence, then there is nothing more than that, right? You get the basic idea about that language. Similar thing happens in coding as well. Once you know what is function and once you know the logic behind how should I write the function, it's just a piece of code, then there is no logic in that. We will move forward and learn about Bootstrap and we will see how we can modify our CSS easily using this awesome JavaScript library. After learning concepts of grids, forms, models in Bootstrap, we will take couple of days off so that you guys can spend a lot of time reviewing and practicing these basic technologies. Don't worry, during those off period, I will be in contact with you guys and I will keep feeding you the questions that I expect you to solve on your own. But when I say on your own, that doesn't mean you should not take help of internet. I will not stop you from using internet. You can take all the help that you want, but I want you to solve this on your own. So once you are done with these basic technologies, you will then join the group of intermediate level developers and start learning GIS technologies. Don't worry, if you get stuck anywhere, we will have our separate Google group where you can put your queries and you can also answer other people's queries. Please note that entire development system works on give and take. You can always ask as many questions as possible and always answer as many questions as possible. This has nothing to do with what people will think if you ask a silly question. Believe me, once you search your query or once you ask your question, you will see that many people will relate to it, and you will see that everyone in the beginning faces these problems. So there's nothing to be ashamed of or nothing to think about what people will think about me. We will use websites and resources such as Stack Overflow, YouTube, Google, HackerRank a lot. So when we get into Openlayers, we will have a look at basics of Openlayers, how to create a map, how to add different features such as markers, lines, polygons. We will also see how to add JSON data to our map. Then we will look into the events that occur on the map. Then we will have a look at how to add images and how to collect our Openlayers with Geoserver. We will also see interactions on the map such as drawing something on the map and then saving it. We will also see how to use the map in an offline mode. And finally, I will introduce you to this really awesome advanced Openlayers plugin library known as viglino.github.io. I use this website all the time to find the correct plugin for my use case. Then we will move forward and see what is Geoserver, how to install Geoserver, how to add layers, stores, workspaces, etc. We will see ways to add different stores. We will see how to use the services of Geoserver as a vector or a raster data, or how to style a data in Geoserver, or how to create SQL queries in Geoserver, or how to filter data from front end, because most of the times we don't want to see all the data at the same time, right? That means we need to filter the data according to the user's need, and Geoserver lets us do that. Then we will see how organization uses same Geoserver to host different departments and their data, but you will see that never it will happen that one person from one department can see the data of another department. All this is because of roles and services. We will get into the basics of roles and services in this course. Then we will move forward and learn about PostGIS. This is a very important topic. Database is really important in order to save huge amount of data collected from various sources. That means it is not a static data like a shapefile or a GeoJSON file or a KML file, but it is a stream of data that changes periodically. For example, if you decide to save your smartphone's location at every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes, all the time or all these times a new data will be generated and you will have to save that data somewhere so that you can use it in your Openlayers library, right? So database plays a role here. We will learn about PostGIS and its plugin known as PostGIS, because PostGIS enables PostGIS to deal with geospatial data. We will see how to create geometry in PostGIS, how to query the data, and most importantly, how to connect PostGIS with Geoserver as well as front-end libraries such as Openlayers. Now that you have idea about front end, that means Openlayers, and back end, that means PostGIS, we will need a connector, right? We will need a bridge that can help us share the data from front end to back end and also from back end to front end. There are many modern libraries available that enables us to do that, but we will be learning the basic PHP and AJAX because this will clear your concept about get, put, post and delete. By the time you will finish Openlayers, Geoserver, PostGIS and AJAX, you will be pretty confident in WebGIS development. And that will be a great time for me to introduce you to two more libraries, Leaflet and Mapbox. We will try to compare Openlayers with these libraries and find out which use case is suitable to use which library. We will also try to create a simple application using these libraries. By the time you complete this series, you will be pretty confident enough that you can do web GIS development, and then we will launch a contest. You will practice for 4 days, and during these 4 days you will create a GIS application considering any use case that comes into your mind. But application must contain at least one of the mapping library. It should use a Geoserver and it should use a PostGIS. So while developing this application in these 4 days, you will get idea, or you will scratch your brain and try to find how you can create this application in a really awesome way. And why I'm telling you this, you will see the answer in the next slide. But once you are done with creating your application, you will create a proper documentation that will tell me about what technologies you have used, what is your workflow, that means how is the data coming into PostGIS, and then from PostGIS to Geoserver, then what are different things that you are adding on the data in Geoserver, and then how you are showing the data in Openlayers. So all these workflow and everything you will explain it to me in a documentation. Along with that documentation, you will also share a link of 3 to 4 minute basic walkthrough of your website uploaded on YouTube. So as I will go through all these documentation and all these videos, I will understand who is developing really great applications amongst you guys. So this will be a competition between you guys. And why you want to take this seriously? Now here it comes. We will have 1 hour of live session with industry professional. Now that we know how to use all these libraries, now is the time when we know how to use this in order to get a job or in order to start working as a freelancer in WebGIS industry. Hence, some insights from industry professional will help you to achieve that. After that, we will have 1 hour of question and answer session with him or her and try to understand how a experienced person thinks. And in this webinar, we will announce a winner of the contest, and the prize for winner will be 100% money back. So guys, if you create a really awesome application, all the money that you have earned, that you have invested in this course will be earned back by you. So this is a great chance for you to learn web development for 100% free of cost. Now it all depends upon you, how you practice it and how much dedication you show. Now, as I told you already earlier, we have two types of profiles, new to development and intermediate coders. We will have two types of enrollment as well. But please note that we will be taking only 30 students for this first batch so that we can dedicate enough time on helping each other and moving ahead. Cost of enrollment will depend upon which profile you want to go with. If you are a complete newbie and start to learn from the basic, you can avail 30% discount right now and enroll in the course with INR 10,000 or 130 US dollars. If you are an intermediate coder and wants to start directly from learning Openlayers, you can avail the 25% discount and enroll in the course by paying $7,500 or $100 in for the course. Now here are the tentative dates that we have decided to start the course. So we will begin the new to development batch from 7th of May, which can be subject to change, but we will at any condition start our course on 10th of May. So if everything goes right, we will start on 7th, but at max we will start at 10th. But if once you are enrolled, you will get all the updates via your email. And then we will meet our intermediate coders on 17th of May, and then from there we will start our journey into WebGIS development. So this is a tentative date wise course that I have written. You can always download this after this session. I will share the link in the description. The most important thing that makes you a good developer is how do you support each other. We will have separate groups where anyone can raise a question and anyone can try to answer. But this will be a really good place to test your knowledge. You can always see what other peoples are getting stuck at and then try to find the answer on your own. Apart from these Google groups, we will also leverage the internet because that is the biggest source of information that we have. All these sessions will be recorded and shared with the registered email ID for the lifetime access. So all the sessions you can always refer them, and if you are stuck at any code or anywhere, you can always refer it back and then try to solve it. I will provide you help via email for the next 2 months, but I don't want you to send me an email. No, you heard me correct. I don't want you send me the email. What I mean by this is that I don't want you to send me an email regarding, hey Krishna, I'm stuck at XYZ problem, how to solve it. I don't want to receive email like this, but I would be happy to reply to an email like this. Hey Krishna, I was trying to solve XYZ, but I am stuck. I tried to find answer on Stack Overflow. Here are some of the links that I referred to, but I couldn't found the answer. I think, can you help me? I think this is how you can solve it, or maybe something like that. So I want to see 100% effort from your side so that I can also invest my time in you, right? I want you to be completely dedicated. As I'm telling you again and again, if you're in for just for money, I would highly appreciate if you don't do this, because you will be just wasting your time, because once you get into development, it's finding the bugs and fixing the bugs all day long. So if you think you have that much patience, then and then you should enroll. Apart from this, we will also have a 1 hour one-on-one session with each of the participants, where I will try to answer your queries personally, that they can be regarding coding or regarding your career in GIS or how to move forward or anything like that. So you can make the payment using PayPal or UPI. Note that you will receive a receipt of your payment from my registered company and all the information will be written on it. So if you think that this will be a career changing point for you, then I would highly appreciate for you to enroll in this course. Please note that my aim is not to teach you how to code. No one can teach you how to code everything. But my aim in this 1 month of span is to teach you how to think like a developer and how to try to find answers using the resource of ocean, that is Google. So I'm not going to do hard coding very often, but I will tell you how to smartly find the answer. If I want to write something, how can I find something similar to that on internet, and then how can I copy paste it? Believe me guys, this development is the one place where copy pasting is not a bad thing. So if you are a good copy paster, that means you are a good developer. But of course we cannot just copy paste it as it is and use it in our code. We can, of course, we will need to do some edit in that, but yeah, you will you will learn the art of copy pasting. So thank you all for attending this session. I'm your host Krishna. I had a really great time in this event. I hope you guys can decide if you want to enroll or if you want to just skip and wait. That totally depends upon you. I hope I see you guys in the course. Thank you. Have a safe and happy and learning lockdown. Thank you.